Welcome back. I'm now here with student academic success coach Pete Davis. Pete, this is your first time on the show, so welcome.
Thank you, Travis. Thanks for having me.
So, because it's your first time on the show, we'll backtrack a little bit, begin at the beginning, so to speak. In high school, did you ever think you were going to be here?
Not in Indiana, that's for sure. In high school, I was a student assistant for our athletic director and knew that I wanted to get in college athletics. But I thought Division I was going to be my route, so I did go to a Division I school as a student. I went to Creighton University after high school, so there I studied sociology and thought, well, maybe I want to be a teacher, so I switched over to education. Then I was like, no, not the best choice, so I switched back to sociology and then decided that while meeting with some of those advisors that I had there, that I wanted to work in higher education and work in college athletics, to be specific.
And with that too, did those advisors push you to become something like this, or did you have another motivation behind that?
Yeah, so those role models that I had there, so I had my school advisor, and then I had two professors in particular that were very encouraging, because I was a terrible student my first year. My freshman year, I was put on academic probation. I learned my lesson really fast that you can't slack off in school. And they pushed me and continued to encourage me, like, all right, you can do this. Like, let's just put in this much effort today, and then we'll move forward tomorrow. And they really encouraged me in moving into that higher education field where I wanted to show that same support to the students that I work with now.
And with that encouragement too, you also got to be a mascot for Creighton. What was that experience like?
That was probably the best experience of my life. I got to be the mascot while Doug McDermott was there. He was Player of the Year 2 times, and I traveled with them to the NCAA tournaments with basketball, volleyball. I even did a couple soccer matches with them. But I wouldn't change it for the world. Although the costume is super hot, I don't think having that experience, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Fortunately, you're not Rufus the Red Wolf for IU East, but you are a success coach. What does a success coach do for students here at IU East?
Taking that back to Rufus, actually, I help with our training process. I work with our external affairs people and getting our Rufuses trained up for game days. So that's really fun that I get to continue working in that mascot industry. But back to your question of being a success coach, my job is academic success coach for all student athletes. So I work with all 200 of them to make sure that they stay eligible for their sport. So my main job is to make sure that they're doing well in classes so they can maintain their NAIA status of being a student athlete. So whether that be working with them on their time management skills, working with them on, study tips to get them prepared for whatever's happening, getting them ready for their exams, and providing them a stress relief there. So some of my students, they have mental breakdowns in the middle of the day. Hey, Pete's office is always open. I can grab a snack from him, and we can talk through some things and getting them back on track for success in the classroom so that they can be successful on the playing field later on.
And you mentioned that possibility of stress. What are some of the other challenges that come along with being a student success coach?
So some of the challenges of being a student success coach is I don't really have a lot of free time. I have 200 athletes that are in and out of my office all day long. But stresses for the students is the time management type of thing. They're in practice. They got to eat. They go to class. They want to go to bed, but they got to study. So they're trying to balance all these different things and keeping them successful in the classroom, but they're getting stressed out because they have so many things on their plate. But they also still want to be active in the community and in their school. So trying to find those balances and giving them plans to be successful with that.
And you mentioned how successful these athletes have been last semester. What are some of the academic achievements that some of these student athletes have accomplished?
Yeah, so this last semester we had a 3.4 GPA overall for our student athletes, which is one of the best since I've been here in my 2 years. But a lot of our students have gotten 4.0, so we had like 18 students complete 4.0 Chancellor's List. We had 121 out of the 200 or 180 student athletes have a 3.0 or higher. So that's a really big number and a great percentage to have, and we look forward to continue building that moving forward. So I'm really excited for the future of our athletic department and academic success, and continue seeing them grow moving forward.
Because of that bright future, do you have any higher goals you're hoping to reach?
Yeah, so I'm really hoping for this semester that we can get a 3.2 GPA. At other schools that I've been at, we've set the standard of being like a 3.2, and I think we can definitely get there with the talented students that we have here at IU East.
Now, you mentioned some of the surrounding schools and how their GPAs and average GPAs compared to IU East. Do you think IU East is in the running, so to speak, for having the best student athletes?
Absolutely. I think our student athletes are one of the best groups of students that I've worked with. So I've been at the University of Buffalo as an academic support person as a graduate student. I went to the University of North Carolina, Wilmington, and worked as an intern there. Great students at both of those schools, but I think our students are right up there with them.
If you have any tips that you'd like to share for student athletes that want to achieve a high GPA or academic achievement, what tips would those be?
Open the textbook. Number one, the professor's not going to give you every answer that you're looking for. You're going to have to read through the textbook to get those answers. But go to their office hours, come see me. We can get plans put in place, but you have to study, number one.
And finally, for students that are starting out here at IU East, or any college for that matter, and they're looking for somebody to coach them through, what would you recommend them do to come and seek out help, for instance, like from a student success coach?
Yeah, so our first year students, we set up a plan during orientation to come meet with their success coach, just to put a plan in place to getting acquainted with who is your success coach, all that kind of stuff. But what I would suggest is don't lose that contact after having one meeting. I think we're one of the most important people on campus other than your professors to reach out to, because we can help guide you and support you throughout your entire career, not just freshman year, but building you up throughout your entire time here at IU East.
And you do see a lot of seniors as well, along with freshmen?
Yes, so I work with all of our student athletes, so from freshman year all the way through graduation. I don't particularly see a lot of our seniors because they're high-achieving students once they get through that point. My main focus is on our transfer students and our incoming freshmen, and then students on academic probation. So putting my focus into them and making sure they're getting a strong base to build up to that academic success. But I do see students from all ranges of classes.
Well, thank you so much, Pete, for being on the show for the first time ever. Hopefully it wasn't too nerve-wracking with all the lights.
Yeah.
Coming up next, we're going to have more interviews. Don't go anywhere.